Welcome to REV'N News. I'm Mike, and this is Joe, your REV'N News hosts.
REV'N News is your weekly automotive news source, delivering highlights on the latest products from the automotive aftermarket and the industry's top movers and shakers. At REV'N News, we cover anything that revs.
This week, we're talking about being cool. Okay, not you, but your vehicle staying cool. We're covering the ability to control your cooling fans with a new PWM controller to the new electric water pumps.
An electric water pump, now that's a novel idea, but what are the benefits and how does it work to your advantage? Let's find out.
So when you think about what water pump is appropriate for your vehicle, electric water pumps really should be a consideration for a vehicle you want to enjoy on the street, a performance-based vehicle. They are durable enough for street. We were the first company to offer a 2-year warranty because we've incorporated some seal technology in the pumps that really are built to last. So we stand behind that with a 2-year warranty. The electric pumps are nice because you get a higher flow rate at idle. And when you think about how a custom vehicle is used, many times it's in low-speed applications and you need that extra flow where the car's not moving very fast and the engine's not revving very high. The electric pump offers that. So what we've found is that our electric water pumps are really good for a lot of street performance type applications. Our engineering department has tackled the problem of reliability of electric pumps by addressing 2 specific areas. The motor itself, the DC motor, we do a lot of work inside of there to make them reliable. We do extra potting on the windings, and that helps to protect them against the vibrations that an engine just naturally produces. That's been pretty hard on DC motors in the past. We make our motors a lot more reliable by taking the time to manufacture those things correctly. The other area that we feel we've made significant improvements is the seal design. There are a few different choices that engineers can make when they select seals for water pumps, and our engineers have gravitated towards a ceramic face seal type of design, and the seal right out of the box is rated at 10,000 hours. Now somebody will say with a street car, what does 10,000 hours relate to on my vehicle? I'm thinking about my factory pump that will last between 50 and 100,000 miles. Well, we like to put it this way. If you're going to drive your vehicle an average 20 miles per hour and all you have to do is multiply it out, our brushes inside the motor are really the limiting factor, and they'll last about 3,000 hours. So 3,000 hours at 20 miles per hour is about 60,000 miles, and that's good service.
Since everything seems to be going electric these days, that includes your cooling fans, it only makes sense that you should be able to control your fan's amperage and reduce the noise level when they turn on. Durali has just the thing.
At Durali, I think we drive people to the company by getting involved with racing or getting involved with these markets on a personal level. So if we off-road race, our family's been off-road racing for many, many years, and so by off-road racing, you're involved in that community and you find products that fit. But some of the other, getting involved with people like Troy Trepanier and the Monster Jam series, so Dennis Anderson and Farm Truck in Asia, even on the Street Out Loud show. Basically, we've found ways to get involved with these guys and design and build products, and I think that's been a big part of again, brand building, but also product development too, the R&D side. Came up with a PWM controller, so it's pulse width modulation. It's a fan controller. So fans today, as you've seen, are very high amperage and to get the high CFM. So when you have a high amperage fan, there's big spikes when these fans turn on. Controllers of the past, and ones we sell thousands of, basically turn on fans very quickly, so we get the high spikes. What we've done with a PWM controller is they start at 0%. So it's a soft start technology. They're turning on the fans very slowly. And as they ramp up, they get to a level where they maintain a cooling capacity. So we're controlling the engine temperature versus reacting to the engine temperature. By controlling the engine temperature, the fans most of the time, in most cases, are running at a 40, 50, 60%. And they'll just sit there and vary back and forth. to show, to keep the control of the engine temperatures. So basically, by controlling the engine temperature, the fans are only running half the speed most of the time. They'll run at 100% if they need to, but the noise level too. So not only we have the amperage spike, but we have this noise. So everybody's been to a car show. This beautiful car shows up and you hear the rumble of the engine, but you also hear the whine of the fan, the electric fan. If it's a blower whine, a little different. People tend to like that differently. But electric fans have become so prevalent, but the noise level is a problem. People don't want to hear that fan over the motor. And by using the PWM controller, now we're reducing the fan noise, obviously the amperage, and its capacity is plenty for the vehicle. So it's really been it's a revolutionary product. It's the right product for so many different vehicles, because learning about the product, when you see the product, you see how well it works. But just everybody else thinks that that fan just gets turned on, and I don't think about it. But when you see the way this is running, you'll see that it's a much better product for most applications.
That's a pretty cool product. Get it, Mike? Now let's talk about a different type of cooling and let Matt Snow from Snow Performance tell you about their water methanol injection system and how much more power you can get.
Hi, I'm Matt Snow with Snow Performance, and we are the water methanol injection experts. We're the manufacturers of the Boost Cooler and the systems you see in the magazines and the catalogs. What it is, it's basically octane and a huge intercooler all in one. What we do is provide cooling of the intake charge, and it's a different way to get race gas and octane for cars that need detonation control. You can use race gas, you can use E85. We're an alternative that is in on-demand, where it's a better value or less expensive way to get octane when you need it in your supercharged car or your high compression car. We have various control mechanisms that read things on the engine, and under different conditions, it tells our system how much to inject and when to inject. So they're smart boxes that make power very smoothly and give the octane as it's needed in the vehicle. Well, diesel trucks are great because they're throttled by fuel. Our product gives 75 horsepower in all the modern turbo diesels. The key component, and better yet, is that we do it while reducing emissions. So if you have a new DPF equipped truck, our product works hand in hand with that to actually increase power and reduce emissions, so your regeneration goes down in the new truck. The pony cars and the modern muscle cars are a key market because people are buying them and they're modifying them. And when you put a supercharger on a vehicle, the number one thing you have to look at then is timing and staving off any spark knock. And people are buying those superchargers, they're putting our product on as well, and they're almost doubling the power of the supercharger option by having the water meth on top of that. So for the money they're paying for their supercharger and our money, they're getting huge gains.
And last but not least, when it comes to any kind of cooling or plumbing system in your vehicle, it's important to have the right hoses. But aren't those hose clamps a pain to deal with?
No doubt, Mike. And how many times have you taken one off and there's fluid everywhere? Or even putting one back on and trying to tighten the clamp? We all know how painful that can be.
Well, there's a company that has a solution, and I think you're going to like it. Check this out.
The problem in the industry that we saw was with a standard AN fitting, when you take your wrenches and take them apart, as soon as you break that seal, the fluid starts to leak out. So what we tried to create is a simpler way of plumbing vehicles. So we came up with our quick disconnect fittings, which come standard with valves in it. So when you disconnect the fittings, no fluid comes out of the plug or the socket. What makes us different from every other fitting in the world is the quick connect features. So we eliminate plumbing failures. When you have a standard AN fitting, you have to thread them together. So every time you thread them and unthread them, the quality of the thread goes away. So you have opportunity to strip the fitting, cross-thread it, over-tighten it, forget to tighten it. With the Jiffy Tight Quick Connect product line, ours are all quick disconnects. So you pull the collar back, you insert the male plug, there's no internal O-ring, there's a face seal. So the plug seals against the face of the connector, not through an O-ring, so we have no opportunity for leaks. We have no opportunity for stripping, cross-threading, over-tightening, or forgetting to tighten. So that's what sets Jiffy Tight apart from a standard AN fitting. Our fittings save a lot of time in the pits. What we're able to do is, instead of running back and forth to the toolbox to grab wrenches, and then you grab the wrong one, you have to do it 2 or 3 times, there's no wrenches needed with our connectors. Once they're assembled onto or into something, pull the collar back, disconnect it, work on it, do what you have to do, reconnect it, and it's a solid seal, meaning when the plug goes in the socket, the collar should slam forward, lock into place, and you don't have to worry about anything coming apart. What's exciting for 215 with Jiffy Tight is we're introducing a new Pro Compact series, which offers all the same features of our current product line, except there's no valve in it. 100% flow through, same size dimensionally, packaging-wise, as a standard AN fitting on the market today. So those tight fit areas where you don't have a lot of room, our Pro Compact series works perfect.
Hey, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're heading out to the LA Roadster Show. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to REV'N News. When we went out to the LA Roadster Show this year, we saw some great builds and met a lot of great builders. Clarence Barnes was able to snag Dean Livermore of Hot Rods by Dean and talk about his wins.
Grand Nationals Roadster Show. People come from all over to see the very best and to compete for titles like the 2015 Builder of the Year. Hot Rods by Dean. Dean, come on down. I want you to take a little credit for some of the hard work you've done. I know working in Phoenix is a little tough, especially in the summer. Things get a little warm. How warm did it get last summer?
118 or so.
118, deep into a build, and it's 118. Yeah. This guy was like 250 pounds like 3 weeks ago. They warmed it up in the shop, and look at you. You look great.
Well, thanks very much.
Talk to me about the build and becoming the 2015 Builder of the Year.
Well, it's an honor. We do a lot of builds for Street Rodder magazines, clients, and all sorts of clientele and all that. And we've been here at the Grand National Roadster Show. I think this is our 7th or 8th year. And this year they picked us as Builder of the Year, and it's not only me, it's my whole, I got 13 guys that work for me in my shop, and it's a lot of effort, a lot of time and effort goes into each of these cars, and I'm honored to be chosen as Builder of the Year for the 2015 Grand National Roadster Show.
You know, I like these guys who do amazing builds and just work and work and work and work. And you ask them, how did you become the Builder of the Year? And they're like, well, it just kind of happened. I'm like, if you don't tell me, I will go directly to your wife. This is a family business. There are so many people, and everybody talks about, it's a great environment, and you guys seem to work like a team to get these done because you've got so many different things that come through the shop.
Yes, yeah, it's a team effort. I have body guys, paint guys, fabricators, assemblers, mechanics. My wife's my CPA. I manage and run the whole shop. So without one person or without one key element to that, this stuff doesn't happen.
Now,
so,
every time I see a shop on TV, somebody's throwing a wrench at somebody. Does any wrench throwing or anything like that happen at your shop?
Well, honestly, not at my shop, but I know shops that happens a lot at, yeah. We're a little more controlled than that. We don't like to damage stuff. It's hard enough to do it the first time without damaging it, so we don't get into all that stuff. But, attitudes do flare up. There's a lot of egos involved in this, and if I told you there wasn't, I'd be lying to you. And some guys want to do it their way. I give them the freedom to be who they are and be creative, but at the end of the day, I make all the decisions. So,
well, it seems like you've got an entire team of artists.
That is correct.
Everybody's an artisan at their own craft, and have all those different people under one roof must be a little challenging, especially with the schedule you guys keep.
Yeah, oh yeah, and not only that, we have the younger guys are ego-driven. We have the older guys that have been there, done that. And then it's the clash of the titans in between all that. And after a while, the younger guys start to respect the older guys, and then it's getting the older guys to respect the younger guys, and that's sometimes a battle too. So
let's talk about the Grand National Roadster Show. This is the biggest of the best, and it's the largest indoor car show in the world.
Yes.
And what does this mean to you guys when you come out to this?
Well, it's an honor to me. I come here to look for new customers, get our name out there and all that, but to be Builder of the Year, Bobby Alloway, I believe, was last year. These are guys that I've looked up to for all my life. So when I come in here and now I'm one of them, it's a surreal feeling. It's not, when I grew up, I looked up to these guys, and now I feel like I'm one of those, and I'm hoping the next generation looks up to me, and that'd be honorable. I mean, that's just so cool to feel that way.
Do you consider yourself a competitive guy?
Oh yeah, I mean, to say I'm not would be an understatement. Of course we are. I mean, we all compete against each other. I appreciate everybody's work, but I want to do just as good as work as anybody else, and they want to do vice versa. So that's what drives us. That's what makes the next car better, the car after that better than that one, and you just keep pushing yourself.
You know, one of the coolest things is when I'm interviewing somebody on camera, I look behind them to see who's watching, and when I said competitive nature, I think it was your wife who went like this.
Yeah, probably so.
Your family, everyone's here to celebrate this great victory. This is very cool. 2015 Builder of the Year here at the Grand National Roadster Show, live from Pomona. We're on REV'N TV.
Now, builders and hot rods weren't the only thing the LA Roadster Show had to offer. In fact, we spoke to O'Reilly Auto Parts, and they told us about their new rewards program. You're going to like this.
Hi, I'm Curtis Van Briesen with O'Reilly Auto Parts here on the West Coast at the Grand National Roadster Show, and helping get the word out about O'Reilly Auto Parts and our rewards program, which is a big thing that we've been having to work really well with people. Our points don't expire like some of the other people out there, and usable anytime you come in. And for a new buyer, our rewards program will help you as well. It's based on purchases come in and you get points towards future discounts on your next purchase. Any customer, anytime can come in and they're applicable at any store in America that we have, as well as any parts that are on any sale or otherwise. Currently we just did a big expansion in the state of Florida with 250 new stores there and a warehouse as well, and a marketing representative down there to take care of events in that area.
Welcome back to REV'N News. This segment is dedicated to getting to know some companies that you may have never heard of, like ProSpot. If you own a body shop or like to fabricate, then you need to check out this interview that took place at Automechanica Chicago.
ProSpot is a manufacturer of welding equipment, and pretty much specialized for the collision repair industry. We manufacture resistant spot welders. We have been in that arena for quite some time now, and also now with the aluminum, we have aluminum MIG welders, plasma cutters, induction heating, aluminum dent repair system. So pretty much the whole welding needs for a collision repair shop needs. Well, we're promoting a lot of things new, but mostly the MIG welders that we have, the SP welders we call them, that have both aluminum, steel, and silicon bronze welding built into one machine, because silicon bronze is another material that's coming on because of the high strength steel. It's very heat sensitive, so if you apply too much heat to it, you destruct the properties in the metal and it will become fragile. So with silicon bronze, it applies a lot less heat into the weld than steel MIG does. So that's an upcoming procedure as well. So that welder, to have all three of these materials in one welder, is very popular. It selects, you just pick the handle of whatever material you're welding, and then you click on the trigger once and the software changes automatically, and it picks the correct gas for you automatically as well. So that's a very common and popular new product. We also have a self-piercing rivet system that, instead of welding aluminum, like we used to do with spot welding, you can't do that, so you use self-piercing rivets. And we have a rivet gun that was approved by Ford Motor Company as well to apply the rivets, and they actually put adhesive in between the panels, the aluminum panels, and then we rivet bonding it, so it's like. We also have a welding simulator that we are showing for the first time here in Chicago, and that is more for training, because training is difficult to train MIG welding, for example. You have a hood on and it's, it's a very harsh environment, but the simulator can actually give you feedback of what you're doing wrong, and so and it's record the session for you. So it will be a good transition between the classroom and the shop. We can actually do some simulation to get used to the speed and the travel angles and the torch angles and things like that. So that's something that we're pretty excited about as well.
Converting vehicles over to run on natural gas seems to be all the rage, and Westport is the leader when it comes to this new technology.
We're promoting and we're really excited to launch our parts and service business. We've been in business for over 20 years producing the world's most advanced natural gas systems for our OEM customers and our aftermarket customers. And we're launching our parts and service business in order to serve the aftermarket starting yesterday at Automechanica. Previously, most of our parts and service came through our OE dealer network and some of our select partners, but we're really trying to take this to the next level with the popularity of natural gas vehicles worldwide expanding in the recent last couple of years. It's a really exciting time to be able to offer the right quality brand to our customers. Essentially, the benefit is that we've been thinking about gas and designing gas for over 20 years. So we feel that there is quite a bit of expertise and knowledge that we have, which we can pass on and choose and select the right parts, not only for Westport equipment, but for everybody in the natural gas space. Well, it's quite a lengthy process at times to develop products. The natural gas marketplace is not something that has existed it's been emerging over the last 10 years or so. And really, with the emergence of the market, we've been the leader with technologies such as HPDI, or high pressure direct injection. We've been the leader with designing onboard refueling systems. We've been the leader with working with OEM partners in order to bring technologies that used to be not really well coordinated and bring them into the OE platform, such as the Ford you see behind me. We're the only ones that are QVM certified to produce this kind of technology on the OE platform. So it's been really an emergence of that, leading the technology forward and pushing the technology forward, at the same time trying to understand what the customer in the natural gas space would want. So it's been an exciting time.
Well, that wraps up this episode of REV'N News.
And if you just can't get enough of cars, trucks, Jeeps, shows, parts, and products, then keep tuning in each week.
And we invite you to follow us on Facebook and check us out on YouTube. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.
At REV'N News, we cover anything that revs.
This is what we're revving.
What are you revving?